Lost again, going back around, dreaming of a time when I get things right. Lost in the shadows of a million stars, shouldn't be right in my near and far. Shouldn't they at all just tell me where you are? Send a prayer if I'm out of love. Send a little love and I'll make it back. Send me a letter and a bottle of wine, telling me I will be fine. Baby, I'm stuck with a halfway heart. Slip away if I come too far. Pick me up when I'm in pieces. Oh, that halfway heart of mine is the only don't make me roll right home. Halfway hard, halfway hard. Sing to me if I lose my voice. Set a better route if I lose my course. Count on my company and I will come. Save me when I am falling. Save me when I am falling. Save my love when I fall. Baby, I'm stuck
We got time on our side. We're in a state of hope. I need you on my fire. I want you to know that every time you're away, I long for you so much I can find my way. We got everything here, at least to stay alive. And the time that we share makes it all worthwhile. Got this place on our own. Do you feel that we got something strong? And I saw you I wonder how this night will be. The apple does not fall from the tree. She said I almost died a week ago. I lost my will, I thought I let you know. Countryside, the water so I wait up here, I just let it know. Wait along the corridor. Some would say they've seen me here before. Do we need to go this far? We do know who we are. Can we make this even better? Somewhere close about. Ooh, let's find out. I know I never felt this way. People change, but it feels like we stay the same. Every time you look at me, I'm heating up at least a third degree. Do we need to go this far? We do know who we are. Can we make this even better? Somewhere close about. Ooh, let's find out. Everything is clear in time. Everything is clear in time. Thought I make this even better. Somewhere close about. I saw you down the motorway. There was something about you that day. I can still hear the shimmering sound. The hill is near, let's get right up. Walk up to the very top. We couldn't tell the sky from the ground. I know my life will never be the same after that day. You wrap me around your fingers and you stay.